Unit 3.3, angles formed by transversals. And in this unit, we're going to try to identify different angles and their names formed by transversals. First thing first, what's a transversal and what are the different names for different angles? I suggest that you pause the video at the moment and then copy these definitions down and then return to the screen and we can have a discussion, okay? So here we go. Transversal. Transversal is a line that intersects two or more coplanar lines. Remember coplanar? Meaning they exist on the same plane. And so the line that cuts through two or more coplanar lines are the one that we care about. So in this diagram on the right, line L right here is the line that cuts through line M and line N. And then look at, it forms eight unique angles. And they have each of them have different names. Corresponding angles, what does that mean? It means that they correspond with each other on the same side of the transversal. So that it says that angles that lie on the same side of the transversal. Again, our transversal is L that cuts through this. So 1, 2, 5, 6 is on one side, 3, 4, 7, 8 is on one side. So the corresponding angles for angle 1 is angle 5. Angle 3 is angle 7. So they come in pairs. Angle 2 and 6 and 4 and 8 are another two pairs of corresponding angles. Okay? Then alternating interior angles. What we didn't mention is that when the transversal cuts through two lines like L does with M and N, the part, let me see if I can change the, I cannot change the, can I change the color? Make it a little bit bigger. And let's see, let me get a different color. The inside blue part that I just colored, those are called interior. And the outside yellow part, that's called exterior. So again, when the transversal cuts through two lines, the part that's sandwiched between the two lines, the blue part, is called the interior. And the part that's beyond the two lines, to the left, to the right, or if we turn this diagram 90 degrees to the top and to the bottom, those are called exteriors. So now let's take a look at this. So alternate interior angles. So all the interior angles are obviously 2, 4, and 5, and 7. And if they have to alternate, that means they're on different sides of the transversal. So for angle 2, that would mean that on the alternate side, oops, sorry, let me get this a little bit less thick. For angle 2, on the alternate side would be angle 7. So we're talking about alternate interior angles. And notice that they cannot be adjacent to each other either. So 2 and 4 are not alternate interior angles because they are adjacent to each other. So it has to be 2 and 7 as a pair. And by the same reason, 4 and 5 is another pair of alternate interior angles. And if you understand that, alternate exterior angles are very easy to understand. They can't be adjacent. They have to be on the exterior. So if we look at angle 3 and angle 6 would be the opposite on the opposite side of the transversal, and they are both exterior angles. So they are a pair of alternate exterior angles. Same side interior angles, they're very easy to understand. 2 and 5 is a pair, 4 and 7 is another pair. Okay, so let's draw some conclusions here. Let's see, transversal, it will be line L. corresponding angles, let's give us some examples. So their angles lie on the same side, then it would be it would be angle 1 and angle 5, or angle 3 and angle 7 as 2 examples. There are more examples after that. Alternate interior angles would be angle 2 and angle 7, and the other pair is angle 4 and angle 5. Those are interior, and they're not adjacent, and they're on the opposite side of transversal L. Alternate exterior would be angle 1 and angle 8 is a pair, and angle 3 and angle 6 is another pair, right? Same side interior angles would be angle 2 and angle 5, and angle 4 and angle 7. That would be our answers there. Okay, so let's do an example then. Describe the relationship between the angles, angle 1 and 2. First of all, let's identify which one is the transversal. The transversal is the one that cuts through two other coplanar lines. So it will be this one in blue. Okay, and obviously this would be the interior, and this would be the exterior, and this would also be the exterior. So 1 and 2 are interior angles, right? And they're alternating, they're alternate interior angles because they're on opposite side of the transverse. So I cannot write and talk at the same time. So this would be ultimate interior angles. Angle 3 and 4, again, the transversal is here. You always have to identify the transversal first, and then they're on the outside, so they have to be exterior, and they're also on opposite sides of the transversal, so they're alternate exterior angles. Now for C, be careful with C. Our transversal is here. Notice that, let's call this M, this one, and let's call this one N. Line M and line N, neither one of them cut through two lanes. They only cut through the transversal L, whereas L cuts through both lines, M and N. Okay, that's how we determine which one is transversal. And this is fairly straightforward. 5 and 6 are on the same side of the transversal, so they're same side, and they're in the interior, so they're same side interior angles. I should write angles. If you can't write in nice handwriting in plain English, please do so. Otherwise, your English teachers will be mad at me for nurturing bad habits, and I apologize. And here's another example. List all pairs of the angle that fit the description. Corresponding angles. Okay, so we have to list all of that. Remember the definition of corresponding angles. And first of all, again, here is our transversal right here, right? So our corresponding angle is the only angle that doesn't differentiate exterior or interior as long as they correspond with each other. So if we take angle 1, you will notice that corresponding to that would be angle 5. You see that? They're both on one side, on the left side of the two lines that the transversal cut through. And same thing with angle 2 and angle 6, right? They're on the other side. And same token, angle 3 and angle 7 is a pair, and angle 4 and angle 8 is another pair of corresponding angles. Next one is alternate exterior. So now we're only looking at exterior angles. Exterior angles are 1, 3, and 5, 6. And if they're alternating, it has to be, if we're looking at 1, we're looking at alternating would be 8. And if we're looking at 3, the opposite side on the exterior would be 6. So that's B. For C, we're looking at alternating interior. Interior is 2, 5, 4, 7. And if I have to alternate with 2 would be 7. The alternate with angle 5 would be angle 4. Last one, same side, interior. Again, interior is 2, 5, 4, 7. So if I'm looking on the same side, I have 2 and 5. And then I have 4 and 7. Angle 4 and 7 as the last pair. Okay, so that's how we identify angles formed by transverse. So give it a try and check it, and we will check that those checkpoints in class. All right, guys, thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.